Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Nell, and it's now my turn to do the teaching this semester, and we're going to start with basic facts of polynomials. It is a review. Mrs. Sintov taught it earlier in the year, but let's get started. So remember what a polynomial is. A polynomial is a lot of terms together, an expression with many terms, and we call those terms monomials, okay? And so it's made of many monomials. It can actually be one, and a term is things that are multiplied together, like 4x, that's a term. 4 is a term. 3xyz is a term, because they're all being multiplied together. But now we can add the addition sign or the subtraction sign, and that makes more than just monomials, but those are polynomials. Remember, we can write them in standard form. Standard form of a polynomial, I look at the degrees of the exponents, okay? And the exponents are not of the exponents, of the variables, which are the exponents, and I'm going from highest to lowest. And I'm also, let's say I had x squared and y squared. I would then go in alphabetical order. The highest exponent of each monomial is called the degree. Now we can classify polynomials by degree and by the number of terms. Let's start out with degree. Now let's just say I have a number, okay? And there's no variable with that number. So that means that I have a degree of 0 because there's no variable. And so I can't raise that variable to any power because there isn't a variable, so it's 0 and it's a constant. And if I have just a single variable like x or z or p or q, and so it's raised to the first power, even though we don't write that one, it is still raised to the first power, and that's a linear polynomial. If I have a variable raised to the second power, whether it's x squared, y squared, q squared, all right, that's a quadratic. And that's what we're really going to be focusing on this semester, our quadratics. We focused on linear equations and expressions and functions last semester, but now we're going to start in with quadratics. So the variables are going to be raised to the second power. So just for fun, if a variable is raised to the third power, it's cubic, and if the variable would be raised to the fourth power, it would be quartic, and it does go on. But now I want to focus on the number of terms. So remember, if there's just one term, whether it's x, whether it's 7, whether it's a, whether it's a, b, c, d, e, f, g, that is one term, and that's a monomial. So one term is a monomial. Now, if I separate each one of those monomials with a plus sign or a minus sign, that is going to be a binomial if I have two terms. If I had three terms separated by a plus sign or a minus sign, that's a trinomial. And if I have four or more terms separated by plus signs or minus signs, that's a polynomial. So let's do a little practice here. So remember, if I just have a number, okay, there's no variable, that means it's going to be to the degree of 0, okay? And so that means that it is a monomial, and it's also a constant because there is no variable. So this is a constant monomial. Say the constant first and then monomial. All right? So what if I added a variable to that? So I added the variable x. Well, it's still a monomial because, yes, I'm having multiplication there, but it's still one term. So it's still a monomial, but it's not a constant any longer. This time that variable is raised to the first power, so it's a linear monomial. Linear monomial. All right, so what if I added a number? such as plus 1. So now this time I have more than one term. I have the term 6x and I have the term 1. 6x plus 1, okay, is a binomial, and it is a linear binomial because that x is still only raised to the first power. So it's a linear binomial. Alright, so now what if I had this? X squared plus 2x minus 5. I see three terms, and the degree of that entire polynomial is 2. So it's going to be a trinomial because there's three terms, and it's going to be a quadratic trinomial. All right, what about this one? Well, I see two terms. The x is to the third power, so it's going to be a binomial, and because it's to the third power, it's a cubic binomial. All right, so now I want you to put this in standard form. Well, remember I said it's to the highest degree goes first. And so I'm looking at my first term, which is 3x. X is to the first degree. 2x squared, x is to the second degree. And plus 1 is a constant, so there's no variable, so the degree is 0. So I'm going to go to 2, 1, 0. So I'm going to move these around, and now I have this in standard form. 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. What about this one? Well, 24 is my constant, so a degree of 0. That negative x to the third power, yes, it is a negative x, but that doesn't make any difference. It's only the power that counts, so it's up to degree of 3. And x is degree of 1. So let's move things around here. And now I have negative x cubed plus x plus 24. All right. So now the next problems are not on your sheet. You are going to have to write them on a piece of paper. All right. So stop the video and take out a sheet of paper if you need to, because there really isn't any room on this page to do these, but they are not going to be on your paper. All right, so there are different ways that you can add and subtract. Vertically, where you line the terms up, the like terms up one after the other, or horizontally, where you group like terms, whether you use the commutative property and move things around, or whether you circle and box things in, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you a variety of different ways over the next few days, but it doesn't really matter how you do it as long as you are comfortable with it. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of details because this is a review. So let's look at this. I have x to the fourth power plus x plus 2x minus 3x squared plus 2. So I really don't even see where I could change things around. And notice that they're all here. There's no parentheses. Okay, so I'm just going to move some things around here. And when I moved things around, look what I did. I put it in standard form. And when I put it in standard form, I have here x to the fourth minus 3x squared plus x plus 2x plus 2. And I noticed when I said it that I have some like terms here. I have the x plus the 2x. So that means I can combine those two like terms. Another thing I want to caution you about is that the sign goes in front of the term. All right, so that became minus 3x squared. And remember, I can move these around because there is not any parentheses here. So I can just move everything around. They're not grouped. Okay, so when I combine my like terms of x plus 2x, I'm now going to get x to the fourth power minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 2. And that's my final answer. All right, I have one more problem. This time it's a subtraction problem. Oops, I was just showing you there the two like terms. All right, so I have this subtraction problem. Now, this time there are parentheses. So that means that I have this group in front, 3x squared plus 2x minus 3. Then I have a subtraction sign, and then I have this second group, minus, or 2x to minus the 2x to the third power minus x squared minus 2x plus 3. But that's a quantity. So that means I'm subtracting everything in that second set of parentheses. That means I need to distribute that minus sign to everything on the inside of that set of parentheses. So that means I'm going to be subtracting 2x cubed. I'm going to be subtracting a negative x squared. I'm going to be subtracting a negative 2x. And I'm going to be subtracting a 3. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and change every sign in that second set of parentheses. So I'm going to rewrite the first set of parentheses, that first group, and then I'm going to change the symbol in every front of every single term in that second set of parentheses. So now I have a negative 2x cubed, a positive x squared, a positive 2x, and a negative 3. And notice I also changed my subtraction to an addition sign, because now all I have to do is combine everything. So I could redo the order, and now I can redo the order and drop the parentheses. So I can go ahead and put them in order from the highest degree to the lowest degree. And now I have negative 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus x squared plus 2x minus 3 minus 3. Notice there were a lot of like terms there. I have the like term of 3x squared plus x squared. I have the like term of 2x plus 2x. And I have the like term of minus 3 and minus 3. So now, when I combine everything together, I get the polynomial negative 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 4x minus 6. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to finish the first page only of your notes. So I want you to do all of the first page. Do not do the back side. That is going to be done in class tomorrow. Again, do not do the back side. It's going to be done in class tomorrow. All right, until the next time, bye for now.